Hello, this is Holistic Hippie Housewife. So this is just sort of a random video. I was supposed to post a video of me cooking something else, and of course, this video isn't just going to be about me. I mean, this page or this channel isn't going to be just about me cooking. That's kind of what I wanted to lead with. This page may be taking an interesting direction. So let's just say I've recently met some people who I have a lot in common with. And I've actually always known these people, and I've always had a lot in common with them. I just couldn't really put my finger on it. It's still a little bit hard for me to wrap my mind around it. I'm like constantly reading over symptoms, reading over diagnosis, reading over other people's stories. And the more I read, the more, even the spiritual side of it, the more I read, the more I relate. So I just recently found out that I may be autistic. It's not an official diagnosis or anything, but I advocate for myself. I don't let anybody just diagnose me or think they can tell me what they think they know about me when they haven't taken the time to really listen to me. And so I pretty much have always been able to pretty much diagnose myself, and I've always been right anyway. And the fact that they've let this slip through the cracks just shows how much they're slacking at their jobs. But more specifically, Asperger's. And I have two brothers who have been diagnosed with autism. Sister who has some other mental illness, but her, who knows, maybe hers is autism as well, because a lot of times it gets confused with bipolar mania, schizophrenia, manic depressive. I guess it's the same thing. Um, it's bipolar, but it's just like all my life, I just, and maybe I developed it, maybe I was born with it, I don't know. I just always known that I had a problem socially, a problem sometimes communicating. So I guess I'm sort of on the low end of the spectrum. I guess this low end would be those that are high functioning. So the high end of the spectrum is those who are sort of non-communicative, like my brother who doesn't speak, who's about 18 now. Actually, he should have just had a birthday in February, so he should be about 18, and he was still in foster care, so they gave him his own place, and because he was never adopted, like me and the rest of my four siblings. He was more severely autistic, and so my adopted mom didn't take him, but she took four of us. I'm the eldest of five, so um, and he is the oldest brother. So my mom took me and my twin, my baby sister. We were all placed in foster together. That's my children, as I told you. They're always here. Elijah, I'm recording the video. And just what was I? Just talking about my siblings, my twin, my sister, and my baby sister. We were all placed in foster care together, and we all went to the same home together. And then later, when my mom had my brothers, um, they were placed in foster care, and the youngest one was adopted by my mom, placed in foster care with my mom, my adoptive mom, and adopted. And the oldest one, because he didn't communicate much or anything like that. Not maybe, I don't know. We just didn't. He didn't come with us, and he remained in foster care. He remained in the system. I mean, he's sort of like on independent living now or whatever they give him, which is very good. Kind of makes me wish I was never adopted, because at least I would have had more help. But like I said, it's still hard for me to wrap my mind around. So some of the symptoms of it are, let's see, let me be, um, I don't want to get anything wrong here or miscommunicate what I believe about autism, but it's just such a taboo subject. So let me just, let me see. Asperger's. And so I found some websites that have some good information about symptoms. And yeah, I did a little online quiz, in which I scored like in the high range for it. Um, so Asperger's disorder is a syndrome that typically appears first in childhood and is primarily characterized by a person's difficulty in everyday social interactions with others. So, does this describe me? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard because I don't want to be like self-diagnosing, but like I said, I like to advocate for myself. But it's kind of hard to self-diagnose because people tend to think that if you know you have a problem, you should be able to automatically fix it. Which over time I have sort of adjusted myself um, to day-to-day living, but it is always hard and always takes a lot of energy to be social. I can remember when I was in college at Southern, and I would just sit by myself. Like, I went to a lot of people who I graduated high school with, and a lot of people who I went to junior high school with ended up going to Southern with me, and they would ask me sometimes to eat with them or whatever, and I would just be like, no, I and I wouldn't know why, and I would want to, and I'd be like, okay, today I'm probably gonna go sit with them, or maybe today I'll go and be more social. And my whole plan of going away to college, there he goes again. No, it's wet. It just rained, and Tarai's gonna want to go outside. I told you to go play with your sister, so you have schoolwork to do anyway. And when I'm done with this video, you will be doing it. I told you I was doing a video. Okay. And so I was speaking on college. It was very hard. I wanted to be social. My whole point of going away to college was um, to get out of the environment I had been in, having been raised in foster care and adoption, being sort of in an abusive situation. Though, granted, having when I moved on to college, I didn't necessarily realize how much I had been through. Um, I think I sort of just looked at myself as somebody with a normal childhood, but I think I was just trying to put myself there. I didn't want to be somebody who had been through so much or whatever. I would if you watch a movie and see somebody who's going through the things I've gone through, and I tend to forget that I've gone through some of these things, right? So I didn't get a chance to recover from a lot of the abuse, and I felt like that was a lot of what it was. Um, the anti-socialism and stuff like that. Me having PTSD, as I got older, I began to realize that I did have PTSD from a lot of the things that I had gone through, and I suffered with anxiety attacks. Um, but as far as it's just different. It was hard. It's hard to sometimes get words across. That's just one of the many symptoms of it. I don't want to go too long on that because it's so many depths of it that need to be touched on, but I probably won't touch on them all in this video, but I just wanted to make this video because it's been a struggle for a long time. Okay, it says another symptom. I'll get to the main symptoms here. Also, it says that adults too may have Asperger's, as often the disorder is not properly diagnosed in childhood. Asperger's is considered the mildest, least severe of autism. The following 5 criteria primarily characterized as Asperger's disorder: a significant impairment in social interactions with others, as demonstrated by at least 2 of the following: significant difficulty in the use of multiple nonverbal behaviors, such as lack of eye contact, which my husband tells me I do all the time; few facial expressions, which my husband tells me I do; awkward or clumsy body postures and gestures. I guess, yeah, I might do that. Failure to develop friendships with others of the same age or children of the same age. I try to get friends. It's just hard. That's all I can say about that. It's hard for me to keep friends. It's hard for me to maintain contact because I'm not good at maintaining relationships. I've always said that. Lack of spontaneous seeking to share enjoyment, interest, or achievement with other people. Lack of showing, bringing, or pointing out objects of interest to other people. Failure to express appropriate and corresponding social or emotional reactions, such as when conversing or playing with others. For example, a child who shows little or no reaction, feeling, or empathy to another child. Now, this is a big misconception. It's not that we don't. It's not that autistic people don't show empathy or don't have empathy. It's just that we don't always know how to express it. One example of that for me would be, oh wow. I would hate to use this as an example. It's just, well, I'm just gonna say with some instances where I may have been, where I may have supposed to have cried. There have been instances where I have laughed. That's one of those things, and like, it's not that we, like I said, it's not an official diagnosis, so I don't want to be like we or anything like that. But I mean, I'm always able to empathize with others. In fact, I think that quite a bit of autistic people are, in fact, empaths, and that we feel too much, and that's why a lot of them can't communicate. Because they feel too much of people's emotions rather than not feeling them at all. I often get told sometimes that I don't care or understand. People tell me that I lie, which I don't. We're actually very honest. A lot of autistic people are very honest, but they get told they lie because of they may not have the right expressions or whatever to go with the words that they're saying. Restrictive repetitive patterns, interest shown by at least one of the following: significant or an encompassing. Ali, a significant. Turn it down some. Watching cartoons. A significant and encompassing preoccupation or obsession with one or two restricted topics that is abnormal either in intensity, subject, or focus, such as baseball, statistics, or weather. Yeah, and those subjects have varied over the years, but it's always one thing has always been music, especially singing, vocals. Um, it kind of dawned on me a little bit that as a child that if I was autistic as a child and my thing was music, and I always was like my people think I complain. When I be like, wow, it's hard for me to do music, but it was really hard because I got so much of I can't do that or I'm not supposed to do that. To the point where I kind of believe that it kind of wasn't in my grasp to even do something like that. When I went to college, for social work. I didn't even try to even pursue music because I was put down so much about it. And I would be literally, to me right now, hard to describe how much it would just to me sound like I'm complaining in my opinion, so I don't like to talk about it. But I just grew up with a family who did not believe in encouraging. They just believe in being crabs in a barrel, pretty much. I don't know. But it was the thing that I would always do. I was always singing, writing, you know, um, always watching videos, always listening to music, always. But I don't know. I don't want to talk about it much. Um, right now, I just obsess over a variety of different topics at a time. And right now, it's kind of like I switch, but it's only when like it's significant. Like right now, with me sort of awakening and stuff like that. It may seem like I'm a bit obsessive, even with this Asperger's discovering it. Um, Elijah, go check on Taraya. Um, it's been sort of just a bit of an obsession, I guess, of researching it, but I don't want to go into depth with that. Um, there's a lot of there, maybe one or two other things that I may obsess about, going to talk about. Okay, seemingly inflexible adherence to specific routines or rituals that serve little purpose. Yeah, because we do deal with like a set routine, but just it's hard if it's not something that has focus or if it's not necessary. Like my husband wants me to play video games when I don't deem that necessary. It's really hard for me to do. I try. I like to maybe play a shooting game or two, whatever, but I'm just not able to. But I want to. Um, repetitive motor mannerisms, for example, hand or finger flapping or twisting or complex whole body movements. I just think you would have to talk to my husband about that. He would know. He watches me.